What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it is Lions Talk Live. It is a morning show edition, and you know what? We've got something extra special for you today. You have to wait and watch the show a little bit to have that unveiled before you, but I think we're having a little fun with it, and you'll see soon. Hey, we do have some information that, as you could probably tell from today's thumbnail, came out yesterday. There's a lot of speculation reports, however we want to term it, word it, or whatever. I'm sure the internet police will get on me about something about the thumbnail. Well, you should have used this word instead of that word or whatever. Hey, it's part of running a channel or whatever. But we do have some reports from USA Today that suggest the Detroit Lions have already had in-depth conversations with multiple different teams about trading up and even, I think, one or two going back. So it is what it is. We'll dive into that during the main topic of the day. We'll get into the 5 headlines now. We'll get into a special something for you guys, too, and I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about that one. All right, real quick, though, before we get that all underway, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subs away from the 13,500. So if you can help out with that, that would be most excellent and wonderful from you. Also, if you have half a second of time, it doesn't cost a dang dime. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or like. So if you're willing to help out, reach on down, hit that thumbs up button. Last but never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the continental United States, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text, 269-998-2384. Have a conversation. Let's see what I can do to have over 30 years of experience within the real estate industry work to your behest, save you some money, save you some hassle, save you some effort, save you just hardship or whatever it may be. Work for you because you know what? I work hard so you don't have to. Give me a call, shoot me a text, 269-998-2384. All right, with all that done, said, out of the way, let's get the show rocking and rolling and get into 5 headlines now. All right, 5 glorious headlines now. Kurt Steele's sending me a message, but I don't think I'm going to have time to get him a leak while doing all this. So, Kurt, if you're watching, hey, just save it for the next time, man, and enjoy this special moment that we're going to have here in a few. All right, Lions attack trenches in Mel Kiper's final mock draft of 2025, story by Billy Rossetti, Lions Wire. So many have probably seen Kiper's final mock draft a day or so ago, whatever it was. And yes, he did have the Lions working on getting better at the trenches. So with the 28th overall pick, Donovan McQuarrie, the edge from Boston College, is the selection. Let's see, he registered 16.5 sacks last season, second only to Marshall's Mike Green, who went at pick 17. There have been a lot of debates whether or not, this edge will go here or there. You've seen all sorts of wide ranges on these guys. I've seen Donovan go anywhere from 13 to the second round, and that's been true with Mike Green. It's been true with Pierce Jr. It's been true with a lot of the guys. I know we've talked about it with this particular draft. It really does seem, once you get past, say, pick 8 or so, a lot of these guys really could go anywhere in the first round or the early part of the second round. It really comes down to, apparently, what your preferences are as a team. With that being as it is, though, we all get the Lions are more than likely going to address the defensive line, and there's more and more speculation the offensive line will be addressed in the first couple selections. What are your thoughts on this particular pick? I don't mind it. He is a productive guy. He does fit kind of the mold that the Lions are looking for, although I do think he needs to be beefed up a little bit more. Some of that can be addressed through weight training, etc. All right, at the number 60 selection on the hairdo, Mel Kiper Jr.'s big board, draft board, what am I going to say? Anthony Belton, offensive lineman for North Carolina State. Again, kind of fits what the Lions like to do. He's 6'6", 340-ish pounds. You see him come on in like this. He does, in my opinion, I do know this guy a wee bit more than some of the other ones. I like his footwork. I don't love his footwork, but I also think that's something that's teachable, coachable. So could the Lions just be looking for the components that you can't teach? He's got a lot of that in droves. He's got upper body strength. I really like the arm length. I love his hand placement, his use of leverage on people. He's got a lot of that stuff, but there are, like every rookie, let's be fair, there are things you're going to have to address with both these guys that really helped them grow. There's not many guys that come into the NFL on any position and just dominate right off the bat. Some do, sure, but they're more the asterisk than the rule. I like both these guys. Both of them do have some areas I think that need to be addressed, but you trust the Lion coaching staff like they seem to do with every particular player out there. They seem to address it, help guys develop and grow, and that's why they're one of potentially the best coaching staffs in the NFL. All right, next is the 5 headlines now. Lions set for the top 30 visit with Jonah Sankers, Athletic Sports, story by John Vicario. Most of you probably know who this kid is. If you don't, let's get into it. So we talked about this yesterday. Lions having only so many virtual visits, 30 visits, in-person visits, etc., and then the pro days. Lions are starting to look at some other options that aren't defensive linemen, that aren't tight ends, that aren't offensive linemen. And one of those positions we're seeing more and more on the request to interviews are the safety positions. So Penn State's Jalen Reed is somebody that the Lions want to come on in and have a visit, but so is Jonah Sanker. So, you only get so many of these visits, but he's a safety from Virginia. We all get it. The guy can cover. He gets around. He cleans up a lot of stuff. If you've seen video on this guy, he does flow to the ball, I think, fairly well. He comes downhill like a missile. I would say he's not Brian Branch, but if you haven't seen him play, Brian Branch really goes forward incredibly well. He reads, he diagnoses, he gets through blockers, he gets after people. And I would say this guy does a lot of the same stuff. Could it be the Lions want to keep a 3 safety rotation as one of their primary sets? I know you guys have all talked about it in the chat before. I think that's where the Lions are going to go. Now, whether it's going to be Reed, Sanker, or somebody else, I don't know. But the fact that, remember yesterday we talked about this, the Lions more than anybody else in the NFL, if they bring you in for one of the top 30 visits, that means they are targeting you. They don't do the misdirection stuff. A few years ago when they used a top 30 on Gibbs, everybody thought it was just misdirections. There's no way they're drafting a running back, not at number 6, not at number, whatever. But what the Lions do, they went ahead and did it, I should say. Will he be somebody they take, or a safety? Will that be somebody they take at 28? You do see more and more national media suggesting this, although I think most of us agree if the ideal defensive edge is there or offensive lineman, that's probably what they're going to go. I would say I think Brad Holmes is doing their due diligence in case they, on their value charts, an edge that they want isn't there, an offensive lineman they want isn't there. They're ready to go in a different direction. Jonas says, I think he's a real good, outstanding player. Had a great career for the Cavaliers. Get his first real playing time as a sophomore and was immediately able to contribute. He made 63 tackles, intercepted a pass, forced a fumble, all as a sophomore. Now, he's obviously only had more and more time to develop. He took a huge step forward as a junior. He brought his tackle total up to 107 with 11 pass defensed and forced 3 fumbles on his way to earning all ACC first team honors. So we get it. The guy's a player. He's a playmaker. And what do the Lions want? They want more and more playmakers, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think we'll all be pretty happy if we were able to get him, whether first or second round. I guess we'll wait and see. All right, mock draft predicts Lions will select Iowa State's Jaden Higgins. Story by John Vicario, Athletic Sports. We talked about just a moment ago, hearing more and more speculations about the Lions adding a safety. Well, you know what they're also getting more and more speculations about adding? A wide receiver. If you don't know this kid, you want to get to know this kid. Iowa State, and he's a big body boy who can fly. 6'4.5", 220 pounds. He's got over 9-inch hands. You get it. The arm length is over 33 inches. He runs the 40-yard dash in 4.47. The 10-yard split, pay attention to that, especially coming out of the break beating presses, 1.53. Doesn't get talked enough in my opinion. And his broad jump is just a shade under 11. Vertical jump is like less than a quarter of an inch under 40. So the guy can fly through the sky. He can go up and get it. And what have we been talking about with John Morton's offense? More than likely, the anticipation is a lot more vertical shots down the field. Jameson Williams is probably going to draw double or triple coverage a lot of time. It's going to, especially if you have somebody on the opposite sideline working it. Some of them maybe like Higgins, a bigger body guy who can fly and jump to the sky to get it. I think you're creating a lot of problems in this scenario for every defense you face. I don't care how good you are. You only have so many bodies on the field, and if you've got to put 2 on JMO, how many guys can he send up to the quarterback while also maintaining good coverage on Laporta, Gibbs, Higgins, St. Brown? You get it. It becomes a math problem at some point, and if you're going to give Jared Goff any kind of time, he's going to pick apart a lot of good teams. So what would you say, Duke? Let me know in the comments section, but check this kid out if you don't know him, Bob. The speculation is this would be a 2nd or 3rd round pick, and I would not be upset about it. We've had a number of different guys. I know I've picked out some in my 2 Lions Talk Live mock drafts. I picked out 2 guys that I would say, hey, 3rd, 4th, 5th rounder. Let's go after a receiver. This guy needs some development, some coaching or whatever, but he's got all the raw stuff. In this particular situation, I do think that Higgins is more developed. I'm not going to say he's going to come in as a rookie and destroy the NFL or whatever, but I think by year 2, you could see pretty good return on this kid. Take a peek at him if you don't know about him, but he's done a lot of good stuff, and I think there's a lot more good stuff to do. He was on his way to, this past season, he took an even larger role during his senior year. Higgins made 87 catches for 1,183 yards and 9 touchdowns on his way to earning 2nd team all Big 12 honors. And that's not too bad. And again, if you're going to give him some time to grow and develop, along with some of the other wide receivers on the team, I think he got something there. Dan Campbell did come out this week and said, hey, the Lions want to get younger at the wide receiver spot. Not that their 2 superstars are old, but I do think we get that beyond that the last few years, and you get to number 3, 4, etc. The Lions have relied on some grizzled veterans, I think would be a good way to put it. But check the kid out. Higgins, I think he's not a bad pick. All right, Dan Campbell says, Lions don't need Ben Johnson to have a high-octane offense. Lions side report, Mike Luciano with this one, Luciano, excuse me, with that one. And, I think you're right. We've talked about it since Dan Campbell's been here. When Anthony Lynn was the first Lions offensive coordinator for Dan Campbell, Lions offense just kind of was stale, stagnant, or whatever. And it's no disrespect to him. I think he was trying to force something out there. The Lions just didn't have good skill position players at that point. You did have TJ Hawkinson. You didn't really have anybody at running back. You had nobody at wide receiver. While Amon-Ra St. Brown was on the team at that point, he was a rookie and still figuring his way out. A difference between USC and Detroit Lions football took some time. Dan Campbell took over, whatever it was, about halfway through the season. And then over time, he brought Ben Johnson into the offensive suggestion department, of assistant offensive coordinator, however you want to term it. And we did see Ben Johnson take over more and more as time progressed. But Dan Campbell had a big role in that too. I do think the Lions are going to be in a pretty good spot with Morton. I do think Dan Campbell is also giving him a little bit more direct information. Hey, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. If you're going to run some sort of fumble-rooski trick play, you're going to check with me first. I think we all get all those factors come into play, but I also agree with what Dan Campbell's saying here. The Detroit Lions offense, I don't think you're going to see it really slow down much, if at all. It may even be more potent because, like I said, you're going to put more pressure. At least that's the assumption on opposing defenses have to guard whatever it is, 55 yards wide and 100 yards long at all times. So we'll see what shakes out. But let me know, I guess, guys, in the comments section, what are your anticipations for the Detroit Lions offense this upcoming season? Are they going to be number 1 in the league, number 5 in the league, number 10, somewhere in between? You just let me know, and we'll go from there. All right, last of the 5 headlines now. Cornerback Maxwell Harrison visited the Lions Tuesday. Will visit Raiders Wednesday. NBC Sports, story by Josh Aper, and we're talking about top 30 visits. Well, guess what? We got this guy coming on in. Now, if you don't know him, the Lions seem to have a mold for cornerback they've gone for this offseason more than any other point. We've talked about a ton of guys that are, excuse me, I had to clear my throat, about 5'9", 5'10". It seems like they're getting away from the 6'2" guys at corner. They have to have some sort of ideas for it. We've also talked about a lot of these guys they brought in are not burners. Not that they're not good corners. They're just not, speed burners. But then you've got this kid coming on in. And Harrison, let's just, for those who don't know, played at Kentucky. He's from West Bloomfield, Michigan. So, hey, he didn't have to go far in the offseason. He's a little light, and by a little light, I mean 183 pounds. He's got 31-inch arms. He's 5'11", but his 40-yard dash time would definitely put him in rare air, 4.28. Now, again, that's not everything. We talked about the 10-yard split earlier, 1.5. That kid can move his hips in a hurry. Vertical jump is basically 40. So, again, somebody can get out into the air, in the atmosphere, whatever you want to say. Broad jump, 10.9. So again, somebody who can cover ground in a hurry. I like the athleticism. I haven't seen enough tape on him to say, hey, he's good at this, good at that, or whatever. But the Lions clearly are targeting, with all the suggestions, all the 30 visits, they're clearly targeting that secondary more. You've got safeties coming in. You got cornerbacks coming in. I guess it brings up the question, could we all be really wrong and the Lions don't go for an edge early in the first round? They go for a secondary component. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But would you guys say if the Lions said, hey, we went for Maxwell Harrison, would you be happy? Would you be sad? Would you be somewhere in between? Let me know in the comments section. All right, before we get into the main top of the day, we've got something new for you guys today, and I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about it. So without further ado, let's get to the next segment of the show. All right, you wild and crazy kids. I am your game show host. I am Chuck something or other. So I'm going to come on in and we're going to have a little fun here. I'm going to throw out the questions. You're going to throw out the answers and we're going to have a little bit of fun. Hey, we're closing in on the NFL draft. So why not have a game show aimed to you two, the Duke crew, and have everybody come on over and throw out your answers. All right. First question of the day. Are you ready? Give me a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. Yes, that jacket. I found it for about $5 here. Anyways, so first question of the day. What's more likely? The Lions trade up or trade back? Let me know in the comments section now. Throw in your answers there. Yeah, I'll give you everybody about 10 seconds to throw it. Are you trading up or are you trading back if you're Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions? Let me know. All right. Yeah, Boogie Fever. There we go. Trading up. And yes, I when I saw this jacket, by the way, I was like, man, it is game show time. And for $5, I was like, all right. Next question for the Duke crew in the comments section. Are you ready? We're gonna go with in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What's more likely in the first round? The Detroit Lions select a defensive edge, offensive lineman, or secondary player? Let me know. And that's right, Pat Sajak is here. Go ahead and throw those things in there. Throw in those answers. Are you making a move for an offensive lineman, a defensive edge, or a secondary component for the Detroit Lions? Go ahead. Let me know in the comments sections. All right. Secondary player, trading up, offensive lineman, edge, offensive lineman. Yes, and if you guys want, I'll open up a store where you guys can get these jackets. Let me tell you, they're pretty snazzy, pretty comfortable too. All right, edge, I hope. There you go. All right, and then here's the last question for the game show of the day. Making a move for a new jacket. There you go. All right, last question for the day. At the end of the 2026 season, the Detroit Lions record will be. Let me know your predictions in the comments section now. Go ahead. Yeah, with the black shirt. Hey, yeah, man. I have this shirt on underneath. Hey, couldn't change everything in the wardrobe in whatever it is, 5 seconds. All right. So let me know all right. We're getting some answers in here. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. There you go. Hey, I'm trying to have a little bit of fun with you guys during the off season here. So, all right. And then a bonus question. Let me think. I'm trying to think of a bonus question. Here we go. Bonus question. Who will lead the Detroit Lions in sacks in 2025/26? Name that person in the comments section. And this is for the big money. So if you get this one right, you win. I don't know what you win, but we'll come up with something. All right. Lions Talk Live advice. There you go. There you go. 70-0. Hutch. Chuck Woolery. Yes, I could have done my hair up if I had more little time. My hair is starting to grow back, by the way. Davenport. Now, man, that is some outside the box thinking there. Hutch. I think we're all on it. There we go. All right, guys, let's go ahead now, and that will conclude the game show portion of the show. Thank you all for participating. We're going to head over now into the main topic of the day, and again, we're going to do this show from time to time. I'll come up with 3 or 4 questions to throw at the Duke Crew, and yes, I'm going to have to work a little harder to try to find another game show host type jacket. That concludes today's version of Lions Talk Live Game Show. You know, I try to buy myself a couple seconds to change there, but let me tell you, it is not easy getting in and out of costume while on air and not tripping all over the place. All right, main top of the day, as we can see from the thumbnail, Detroit Lions per USA Today have a couple trade ideas coming their way or partners. It sounds like if you take, excuse me, I had to clear my throat, Russell Brown and the USA Today at their word. Here's where we're at. Lions have talked to a couple different teams, it would appear, about trades. Now, they don't have the full offers, what Lions would have to give up or what that particular team would want in order to get up to that spot. So they're using the big board or the draft chart to try to estimate what it's going to cost the Detroit Lions. Keep in mind, these are estimates based off of the metrics most NFL teams use for value charts, whatever you want to call it. All right, the first one they're suggesting is that the Detroit Lions would trade their 2025 first-round pick, 28th overall, to the Atlanta Falcons to move up to number 15. Now, that's worth 1,050 points. So how do the Lions Scooby-Doo it to get to that spot? Atlanta receives the Lions' 28th pick worth 660 points. Atlanta also receives the 102nd pick overall worth 92 points. Atlanta receives the 2026 Detroit Lions second round pick, and that will range anywhere from 580 to 270 points, depending on where the Lions would select, obviously. So Lions would give up those 3 picks to move up to pick 15. There's no concrete information here, not even speculation, who the Lions would take. So let me ask you, Duke Crew, if the Lions are moving up to number 15, who do you think they're taking? I guess, could have put that in the game show, right? But let me know who you think they're taking. My guess is if you're trading up that aggressively, there is a person of interest there, probably on the defensive line. We talked about it yesterday on the show that the Lions have had a number of defensive players come in for pre-draft visits, 30 visits. Could it be one of those players? My anticipation is yes. You have heard I think Mike had a show yesterday where he was talking about the Lions trade up to number 10 or something like that and gave up multiple first-round picks, I think from 2027 or something like that, to go after it. I'm not sure who you're going after at 15, but it does open up the conversation. If this holds true from USA Today, Lions are targeting somebody, and they're targeting somebody pretty aggressive. Moving up 2 or 3 spots, I don't think costs a ton. Moving up from 28 to 15 is going to cost a wee bit, and not just a Mountain Dew or 2. I owe you a Coke. Hey, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, man. But anyway, so let me know in the comment section. Who are you going after at that point? Now, the next, the suggested trades that the Lions apparently are going to have. This one, hey, can't rule it out because you know what? We've done it before. Here we go. With the Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions received pick 24. Worth 740 points. Minnesota receives the 28th overall pick worth 660 points. Minnesota receives the 102nd overall pick worth 92 points. So if you're moving up a couple spots, this is kind of like last year when we went after Terrion Arnold. I think it does open up a lot of big possibilities. We're all assuming probably a couple quarterbacks go off the board in the top, 20 or so. Sort of like last year, I do think you're going to see a lot of offense go in the first, we'll say 18 picks. I don't think it's going to be like last year, though, where it was the first 17 picks were all offensive players, which really aided Detroit. I think you'll see more of a mix this year, but, I've been wrong before. In this scenario, though, we already have an established relationship with the Minnesota Vikings for trading, so I would rule out interdivision trades as a strong possibility in the draft. But again, since we've done it with Minnesota, especially egregiously, I think you can't rule it out. Now, if you have somebody you think they're going to try to take in that scenario, let me know. But I think there's a multitude of players, including offensive linemen, and to be honest, including safety or even cornerback, that could be right around the 24th spot. So the next spot that they say the Lions are potentially trading, let me go through the notes here because this one isn't as clear, is that they were going to trade down into the second round. In this particular situation, they'd be receiving multiple compensation to go ahead and trade back. But I guess my notes aren't as clear on this one. Sorry, I might have messed it up. Probably messing around with the jacket and the new intro a little bit, so apologies about that. But we have heard more and more speculation about that as of late. The Lions potentially trading out of the first round and trying to acquire 2 or 3 second-round picks or third-round picks, etc. Here's one of them. Okay, Cleveland Browns. Sorry about that. I had to work through my notes here, so apologies. Starting with the Cleveland Browns, they get a total of, Browns do have 10 total picks in case you guys wanted to know. 4 of those picks are within the top 100. The Browns are desperate for a quarterback. They are. So they could be looking for a scenario where the Browns overpay for the quarterback with day 1 and 2 draft capital. They are suggesting that the Browns and the Lions would work a trade where the Lions move out of the first round. Browns want somebody, 5th-year option, etc. Lions are getting a second-round pick, 33 overall, so not much of a move back, and a third-round pick, 94 overall. Would certainly be enough to move up to Detroit's 28th pick. And they don't give I didn't have time to Scooby-Doo and put all the draft board, values on that. But would you be upset with that move? I wouldn't, to be honest. The only thing that would stink is losing the 5th-year option in that trade scenario. But moving back a few spots, you're probably more than likely still going to be able to get the same player or a couple of the players the Lions are targeting while you're picking another pick. My assumption is, though, if you do the Cleveland trade, you probably are making another trade. I could totally see that where we move back 5 spots and then the other pick that we got, the 3rd-round pick, we package that along with maybe, the 3rd-round pick we got for Aaron Glenn and move back up into the 2nd round or move further up in the 2nd round, something like that. All right, Dude Crew, I've went on a little bit longer than normal with all these segments, but hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun with it. Let's get over to see what you guys have to say. And, let me scroll to the top of the screen here. And it's going to take a moment here. Hopefully you guys had a little fun with the game show spot. My anticipation is during the season or off season here, I'm going to see if I can get some content creators come on. And yes, we'll have a little bit of a game show segment, putting them against each other, having to answer questions live on air. All right, Johnny L., good morning to everyone, every one of you guys. And back at you, Johnny. Clark, so who are we trading with and what do we give up? Well, that's the big $1 million questions, aren't it? All right, let's see, Robert, greetings and salutations, and back at you. Robert, salutations. Yeah, I got you, man. I knew we were going with that. How about that? Let's see. Hit a button that just popped up on the screen. So, yeah, something happened. All right, we'll figure it out later. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. I think we all know by now Brad does not sit on his hands well. I won't be surprised if he makes a few more moves during the draft. Yeah, he is, to be fair, according to ESPN metrics and Las Vegas, Brad Holmes is number 3 in the NFL as far as the amount of draft day trades. So there's only 2 teams more active than him. Keep that in mind. Let's see. Robert, I've been watching the condensed Lions games over the last 2 years, and wow, do we have a defense when they're healthy. Oh, my. Yeah. I think last year most of us thought the Lions defense had really moved forward. And then obviously just about everybody on the defense got injured. Johnny, I agree. Silver Server, good morning, Coach and everyone. Back at you. Trim, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Starting lineup. Woo! And same to you, my friend. Johnny L, we need to get better at the edge. Man, you are not wrong there. I think that most of us would agree with that. Trim, I think Brand Holmes trades up in the first 2, maybe 3 rounds. Yeah, I can see that. Let's see, Robert. Jason, do you have the Tree of Destiny out to watch the draft this year? Now, that is a burning question, and Jason, you're going to have to let us know. Let's see, Trey. Let's go to everybody. Question mark. It would be my assumption Holmes and Dan have targeted players they want. They will move up or down to get those targets. Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. I think they seem to, if we analyze their drafts, they have guys they've come into the draft and targeted. And, let's just say you got 7 picks. They've got 21 guys they're going after. Some of them are going to be taken by other teams, but they want to be ready to make moves up, down, or whatever it is to try to get those guys. So I think you're right. Marcus, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point. Anyone see J-Mo at the Tigers and Pistons games the other day? Question mark. Could he be in town working on a new extension? Could be. The one thing the Lions players, and to be fair, the Pistons players, the Red Wings players, the Tigers, they seem to support each other pretty dang well. It does seem like a tight community here in Detroit, and the teams really rally for each other. I think the guys hang out quite a bit, so it's a good thing to always see them there from time to time hanging out. Robert, the Tigers are doing well. Yes, they are. Man Bear, good morning all. Same to you, Gary. Morning, Dan and crew, and then back at you, Jess. Greetings, salutations, Duke. First off, we are going to move up. Read that story, and it seems clear to me, like you've been saying, Coach, for months, the team is trying to move to around 15. Yeah, 15 seems to be the number. I know I've mentioned it for a long time now. And whether it's 15, 13, 29, whatever, I think somewhere around 15 where we can see the Lions trying to make a move. Trim, I'm enjoying the Pistons again since the early 2000s and 90s bad boys. Yeah, they seem to have taken on that mantra. Hey, it works here in Detroit. It plays well with the community. And, it's at this point, I would say that is who the Pistons organization is. The more they can hold to that over the years, I think you're going to have more and more success. Just second, it does read as if Brad wants to make 2 trades. That was my take on it too, especially with the trade down scenario with Cleveland. Yes, you move back 5 spots, but you get a couple picks. You use those to move up. I do think there's a strong possibility Lions could end up with 3 second-round picks. Drake, me too, Trim. They and the Tigers are really storming back. They have, man. They've re-emerged. Johnny, for health reasons, I haven't been able to get out of bed, but I do watch Lions Talk Live. Well, thoughts and prayers, hugs for you, my friend. Hopefully everything is going okay. Trim, Red Wings will be contenders for some time starting the next season. All right. I'll go hold you to that. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Hope you're okay, Johnny, and I hope Holmes doesn't give up next year's first. Micro had a trade where we gave up our 26 first-round pick. Okay, 26. I thought it was 27. I don't like that idea at all. Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't want to give up first-rounders. Johnny, I would love to get Mike Green. I know a lot of people would. Question for the crew, says France. Who would we say are our top 3 or 4 targets for the Lions in round 1? Ooh, that's a good question. Trim, I want to trade up that hard to where I'm giving up first and seconds. Yeah, me either. David, I like Green and Pierce Jr. There you go. James Pierce Jr. Excuse me. Johnny L. Thank you, Stephanie. Trim, great. Green, Grant, Stewart. All right, good call there. I like all 3. I think we all like those 3. I agree with you. David says, Johnny, so small. My guess is, France, is someone like the mainstream media hasn't even talked about. That seems to be the norm with Brad and Dan. Yeah, they don't. They seem to fly under the radar with what they're going to do. But again, referencing their top 30 visits during the Brad Holmes era, they do draft heavily off those. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Something is going to happen. The plot just seems to be getting thicker. Woo! And couldn't agree more with you. And yes, I got to get I know you sent me a message yesterday. I'll check it out. I think when you sent it, I was getting ready to go to bed. Susan, good morning, all. Just 2 weeks ago, and I can't wait. Coach, are you going to host a watch party? I don't know. For those who don't know, every year the Sarge and I host a live half-hour event at the Stadium Drive Liquor Store. This year it will be 2 days before the draft, so that Tuesday, I believe it's going to be at 6 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. I'll keep reminding you guys. I'll give the address out in the comment section. You guys want to come watch and cheer on? I know Moonscar and some of the guys that live more locally have stopped out in the past. Johnny, I don't see Brad Holmes messing up. I'm not worried. Yeah, he does pretty well, doesn't he? Gunny, howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Brad Holmes is going to be working the phones once again. Woo! Yeah, and just to be clear, I think all GMs do. They test the waters on draft day, make some calls right before teams get on the clock, say, hey, what would you want for this? What are you thinking here? And if they can work out a deal, great. If it benefits them, but I think a lot of it is just keeping a connection with each other. Phil, good morning. Back at you. Five Fingers, good morning. All Brad does what Brad does, and for the most part, he's nailed it here in the D. You are correct. Trim, y'all, there you go. Hey, more good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Thank you for that. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And good morning as always. Hookadoo, rise and shine, Duke Crew. One pride. You got to love the crew. Voltron. So what would we need to give up and trade into picks 10 to 13? Wow. I mean, hey, we're talking about 15, so yeah, I guess 13 is really not too far off it. I don't know, but I do think at that point, you're probably either giving up multiple second-round picks, or you're probably having to give up a first. Johnny, Freddie, you are correct, sir. Hey, we're going to go with that. Trim, can I get a Duke Crew Dan Skipper Woo? Unfortunately, you'd have to go with the intro. I know I still got to clip that thing at some point. Henry Moore, good morning. Clark, Johnny, Bo, Susan, and Mike. Hey, good morning to everybody. Johnny L. Sheila, please. You want a Sheila, please? You know what? How about a 1, 2, and a 3? There you go. Johnny, back at you, Henry. Pat, good morning, all. Trim, ain't that a daisy? All right. Yeah, Daisy. There you go. What do you got? Johnny Ringo. Or not Johnny Ringo. Doc Holliday. John Ford here. Good morning, Coach, and the world famous Duke Crew. Hope everyone is safe and sound. Johnny L., thoughts and prayers for you 100%, my friend. I'm your Huckleberry. Gotta love that movie, man. And sorry to hear about his passing, man. That's too bad, man. Quentin, love me some Lions Talk Live in the morning, all. Yeah, you gotta love it, right? Trim, yep, for sure. I hate him. There you go. Let's see, Johnny L. Thank you, John. Troy D, greetings, salutations to the Duke Crew, and back at you. Henry Moore. Henry Jr. posted in the chat yesterday, got 2 likes from Gibbs and 1 from Montgomery. Hey, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you got some likes, my friend. Brent, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew. Brad's pot starting to boil. Oh, yeah. I'm guessing he's cooking something up. But, again, we're only a couple weeks away. Quentin, woo, give me one. You know what? You want one? I'll give you one. How about a 1, 2, and a 3? Brad making his voodoo spell, a little of this, a little of that, and puff, a great draft. I'll take that. Motor City Patriot, good morning, Duke Crew and Coach Dan. Thank you for that. Hopefully you're having a good start to your day. Trim, that's just my game. Hey, yes, it is. I do love me some Tombstone. Big D, what up, crew? Johnny, what chat? Henry, we'll find out. Trina and Christina Conway, just want to say good morning to the Detroit Lions fan from the Detroit Lions team and everyone. Everyone have a great day and stay safe. Go Lions. Woo! And back at you. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Rocky, good morning, all. I sure hope the other teams aren't listening and willing to work with Detroit. I bet you they will, because everybody's after their own self-interest. If it makes sense to them, they're going to pull that trigger. Paul, something's brewing. Dan's extra chipper this morning. Hey, you're ready for the game show, right? Woo! And back at you. Trim, that's cool, Henry. That is really cool. Silver, Lions trying to do their homework, being as prepared as they can be, because the scenarios are countless. No, you're not wrong. Johnny, let's see. Why, Johnny Ringo? You look like someone just walked over your grave. Yes, indeed. Great movie, man. Great movie. Keith, good morning and greetings. Salutations, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Go Lions. 14-3 on our way to the Super Bowl. Woo! Give me a Sheila. Man, everybody's asking for Sheilas today. 1, 2, and a 3. Pierce, good morning, dudes and dudettes. Coach, the daily reminder to clip the skipper wheel. I got to do it, man. I got to do it. Pierce, I will say it until it happens. Get on edge. Trim Reaper, are we cross? If I thought we weren't friends, I don't still think I could bear that. Yeah, great movie, man. Brent, you ain't no Daisy. No, indeed. Johnny L., you got that right, Pierce is. Pierce, Johnny L., I doubt this happens, but cut Davenport also. Yeah, we'll see. Johnny L., thumbs up and a yes. Trim, you got to do something about it or stand there and bleed. There you go. You're going to do something about that or stand there and bleed. Brent laughing. Hey, more. Wait. My kids say I'm older than dirt. Are you saying that they are more like me? Hey, every day we all get a little bit older, right? Trim, Tombstone is one of my favorite movies of all time. Yes, I would put it up there. That, The Fugitive, the original Red Dawn. I refuse to even watch the second one. Don Burt, Pierce, what's up, bro? Bo, I'm your Huckleberry. There you go. Pierce, Don Berg, good morning, dude. Seeing the guy I want in the draft is shooting up the boards faster, Shamar Stewart, and trying to see what edges at 28 we can get. We'll find out, man. We all have speculations who's going to be taken where. but how often is that actually accurate? I don't know. Trim laughing. Johnny, Trim Reaper, absolutely. Mr. Ed, good morning. Dan the Duke Crew. I like the chat on here. Very good and accurate information from Dan the Duke Crew. Hey, we all work together to help each other out, right? Brent, Tombstone rocks, and it rolls. Don Pierce, I think we get one of the guys we want. Brand has been moving smart in free agency. I think he pulls the trigger on the 24th to move up. Yeah, could be. And that was one of the situations we went through. Pierce, Don Burr, some new mocks have Stewart close to the top 10. Yeah, I have seen that. Him going somewhere, I want to say 13 or up. Ken, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo! Don Burr, Pierce, Kyle Kennard is my sleeper at edge. I like. All right, we'll check him out. Pierce, Don Burr, I need to look at more tape on him. Pierce, Don Burr, also I'd like to see more of Zabel. The more I like him, he is a mauler. He is a mauler. Yes, indeed. Don Burr, Pierce, yes, check him out. Coach Rock, I would look for a player who can play the game and loves football. Wouldn't care how high he can jump, how fast he can run, just like football instincts like Chris Spielman had. Yeah, 100%. My guess is, Rock, whoever they bring in, they're going to know that this is a football player who wants to play the game. I mean, but the other stuff, the metrics don't hurt either, as long as they are going to run through a wall for you. Don, I like Zebra and Tyler Booker more, though. Okay. Big D, Harrison is a freak. Yes, he is. Mr. Wouldn't anyone be mad if Brad drafts all offense and defensive linemen? I doubt it, but I doubt anybody would be mad, that is, but I'm guessing they're going to add to other spots, too. Doesn't mean they can't double dip, though, right? Silver Sir, I hope John Morton is going to be loose on the field because he did seem a little uncomfortable with the media. Hope it is not too big for him. My guess is, there's some people that just don't do well with mics in their face and all that stuff, but every day he does it, he's going to become more accustomed to it, my guess is. Ken, Kennard is a dog. I'll go with that. Amy, hey, good to see you, Amy. It's been a hot minute. Good morning, Dan, the Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Hope everyone has a great Thursday. Can I get a Sheila? Woo! Thanks, Dan. You want a Sheila Woo? I'll give you one. And where you go. Pierce, Mr. Ed, the only thing that would upset me is first and second round wideout. There you go. Big D, I watched his 40. Yes, indeed. Kurt Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? Kurt Steele, that's what I was talking about last night, is the Duke Crew, what do I call it, game shows. So hopefully y'all had a little fun with it. Yeah, I just love that intro. Pierce, Ditto Pierce. Brent, Ditto Pierce. Big D, Harrison goes at pick 10 to 15. We can't get him. All right. Pierce, Brett. Johnny L, what up, Kurt? What the heck, Coach? I'll go with that. Pierce, safety, I wouldn't be happy, but would understand. Don Pierce, everybody is hype over Will Campbell, the offensive tackle. Well, Kyle Kennard gave him hex. I'll go with that. Sir, we ready? Big D, that jacket. You got to love the jacket. Don Jackson, all the above. Up. Boogie Fever, there you go. Up. Pierce, Don Burr, oh, I love that. And Campbell reminds me of Washington, who went to Chicago a couple years ago, who is garbage. I'll go with that. Trim Reaper, good coach. There we go. Thank you for that. Trade up. I think we see a scenario here. A reversion to the mean, back. All right, trading back it is. Pierce, up. Johnny, up. Trade up. Keith, looking good at 7 a.m. Hey, the jackets does the clothes make the man, or does the man make the clothes, or whatever it is? Johnny, trade the jacket. Man, that jacket's not going anywhere. That was impressive value I got for it. Trade up. Offensive edge, defensive tackle, defensive end, edge, offensive line, edge, offensive line, best player available. Now that sounds like a Brad Holmes thing right there. It's Kim Patrick, secondary player. Zeke and Sky, what do you got? Edge or secondary? Okay, double dip there. Pierce, edge, defensive tackle, guard, another edge. Rocky, offensive line, edge. Angie, edge, I hope. T-Bones, edge. I'm looking the move for a new jacket. Yes, hey, I'll find out who provides these jackets. But like I said, clearly nobody else wanted to buy it, and I was like, that's a steal right there. Edge baby, says Johnny. Don Pierce, anything but Chicago is trash to me, including their new coach. Fair enough. Matt, edge. Trim laughing. Big D, coach. Yeah, you gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. The black shirt, yes, the black shirt and the white jacket. It's a good combo there, Keith. Zabel, there we go, Courtney. Silver Surfer, 11-6. Marcus, 12-5. Zeke and Sky, what do you got? 15-2. I'd take that in a heartbeat. Patrick, good to see you, man. I feel like I haven't seen you a lot lately. Patrick, 14-3. Mike the Marine Gunny, 13-4. Keith, yeah, I'll go with that. A little bit of a kiss. Ed, 12-5. Brent, 12-5. Vincent, 13-4. Henry, 14-3. Kim, 13-4. Reversion to the mean, 12-5. Big D, 15-2. Move up and O-line, says Brian. Don Bird, 20-0. Now that I like a lot right there. 100% there. Derek, 13-4. Rocky, you would fit in black back in my day now. There you go. See, Bo, 14-3. Marcus, Miami Vice Detroit edition. There you go. Lions Talk Live edition. Brian, 12-5. Keith, 14-3. Sherm, what do you got? 13-3. There we go. T-Bones, 14-3. Aaron, hello, Coach. Jack Campbell, I don't believe gets enough credit. I would go with that, man. 100% there, Aaron. Jack held the defense together all year. Not enough talk about his talent. No, and he probably, my guess is, Aaron, this year he's probably going to get a little bit more notice just because the defense, I think, is going to be a little bit more active with the front seven. Ball, 17-0. Bo, Lions Talk Live voice. There you go. Matt, 17-0. Big D, Hutch. Version Hutch. It's Chuck Woolery. You got to love it, man. I do love me some old school game shows. Marcus Hutch, Patrick Hutchinson, Courtney, 17-0. Don Davenport, that would be the surprise, wouldn't it? Man, see Mike the Marine, Gunny, Hutch, Zegan, Hutch, Rocky Hutch, Davenport, laughing out loud. So he agreed laughing out loud, but that right tackle they have is really, really bad. That is true. Kim Hutch, records 11-6. I'll take that. Civil Server, Josiah Stewart, Vincent E. Hutch, Pat Swilling. Hey, one of the gosh. Marcus, man, that's burning in me. I was so upset when we made that trade. Was it the number 6 pick for Pat Swilling? And I get Pat Swilling had a monster career, but you talk about when Father Time hits and you lose it, man, the Lions bought him at about the worst time possible. Let's see, T-Bone Lokes, Aiden Hutchinson. There you go. Aaron, 13-4. Ooh, Keith Wingo. I'll take that. Moonscar. Bo, I was thinking Miami Vice vibes with those threads also. There you go. Don Pierce, which of Braxton Jones or right, which tackle? There you go. Keith, the Davin Hurd. Ooh, new name here. Pierce, Don Burt, Darnell Wright. Marcus, caffeine. Yes, I need a morning Mountain Dew to get me going this morning. Let's see, Marcus Goff. Goff leads us in sacks. Hey, new position for him. Keith, need a gold chain? I don't have any, though, unfortunately. But it would probably complete the ensemble, right? About need a pastel shirt. I'm working on it. That was electric. Hey, it's electric. Man Bear, the disco dance segment. That could be the next one. Mike the Marine Gunny, smash the like button. Woo! Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all of them. Trim, Abercrombie Holmes, there you go. Let's see, Don Bird Pierce, they tried comparing him to Sewell yesterday on a Bears podcast. Good for them. Big D, cool shirt, Coach. Love the laugh. Hey, every once in a while, I try to make it fun for you guys in the offseason. Mark's laughing out loud. Disco Dan, Man Bear. Trim Reaper, yeah, we are missing a few like button smashes. If you guys can, hit the like and the subscribe. Mr. Ed, game show host, Danny Do. Ooh, I'll have to get that out there. Pierce, Don Bird, that was simply laughable. Hey, trying to hear. Let's see. Silver Surfer, Coach, you can take your jacket off live without disappearing. It is a live show. It is, man. Try to make it work. Big D Harrison is still there. If still there, yeah, 100%. Don Burr, Mike Green, famous RW, Green Sanitation's coach and crew just stopping by. Go Lions. And back at, hopefully you're having a great day, famous RW. Green, could be Trim. Oscar, did anyone see the article about Brad Holmes using Sam Laporta as a trade chip to move up? I read that yesterday and was thinking how stupid that would be, but I guess you never know. Yeah, it's sort of like when TJ Hawkinson, it could be that Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes do not really overly value the tight end position. So, hey, get a couple years out of him before that rookie contract expires and move on from him. It could happen, I guess. You owe me a Coke, says Trim. Sky or Jack Sore, maybe. Trim, a few will do. There you go. Pierce Moonscar Blade, that would be so dumb. Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. Trim Reaper, do. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get a do today. It's been a little bit. See, Don Sawyer will be there in round 3. Might be. I have heard speculations about him dropping, second or third round. Silver Server, I don't know who they will get, but they do a big-time trade-up. I would hope it would be for Kenneth Grant. Maybe they will. Trim Reaper, oh my gosh, I'm special. There you go. It happens, man. Johnny, I'm a weirdo. Aren't we all, man? Don Burr, I just want to see the Lions fan panicking because Chicago has a 10 pick in 2 early seconds. Some people will panic about it, but don't let it get to you, Don. Trim River, that's for sure. Yeah, JP, there you go. Pierce, Don Burr, as long as Ryan Poles is there, why worry? I'll go with that. Moonscar, you're all right, Trim Reaper. Coach Rock, last year we needed defensive backs, and Brad drafted them. This year we need D-line, so I just think Brad will draft them. There you go. Thank you kindly, says Trim. Don Burr, Pierce, for some odd reason, people think Ben Johnson picked and drafted players here all of a sudden. It wasn't Holmes and Campbell. That is true. ZD, what do you got? 13-4. I like that idea. Silver Surfer, Minnesota, and everybody else are going to be very careful not to help the Lions too much. It will be more difficult. Holmes not sneaking up easily on teams as far as I can imagine. Yeah, you're probably right with that, Silver. Keith, trade up, exclamation point, but don't give up too much. No, I agree with that. And I don't think Brad's going to overpay. Pierce Don Burr, that is so laughable. Michael, fresh deck of cards to use dealer's choice at this point. 52 card pickup. Let's see who picks the right cards and joins the Detroit Lions team. I like the way you're thinking. Let's see. Rocky plus them Browns. Oh, Garrett, a ton of money. Might be easy to work with him. Might be. JD Hutch gets 32. What? Now streaming. Yeah, I guess I don't know what this is. So sorry about that, guys. Maybe I put something accidentally in the chat or something. Silver Server. Holmes never gives up too much unless he's sure of a decision. There you go. Thank you, Don Johnson, for stopping by. Hey, gotta thank him. Thank him 100%. Don Burt, the Lions' best trade partner would be Atlanta. They only have 5 draft picks. Yeah, and they may need more draft capital. That's a good call there, Don. Silver Surfer agreed, says Gary. Keith, though, Kenneth Grant, you are a Lion. Let's hope so. Pierce, Shamar Stewart, how would you like to play for another fellow Aggie? There you go. Let's find out. Greg King, Man Steve, Duke Crew, the Lions are going up. Everything else, not so much. Fair enough, indeed. Keith, I like it. Keith, I'm hoping. Keith, Don Burr, my brother. Trim, I'm feeling better. Johnny L, excuse me. Creative idea. Hey, talk about somebody I haven't seen in a minute. It's been a hot minute. I've got 1 first round edge. Hudge needs to get paid next year. So at 1 pick, hammer or chisel, I am a villain. Hey, nothing wrong with being a villain, man. Johnny L, thank you, Trim. Don Burr, Keitho, what's up, bro? Michigan Panther Pride, good morning, all. Keitho, Don Burr, you patiently waiting for the draft. Yes, we all are, I think. Earl, good to see you, man. It's been a hot second. Good morning, Dan, the Duke Crew, back at you. William, Dorsey always calls teams on draft day. He does it as a prank. Yes, he does. Yes, he does indeed. Trim, if I wasn't so far out in the sticks, I'd go watch the party with you maniacs. Hey, come on down. It's just the Sergeant and I talking about stuff for the draft. Silver Surfer, to those who think Mike Green might come to Detroit, I would be the most surprised fan. 2 sexual incidents, whether real or made up, are too many for the Lions. Wish Green the best with life and game. Yeah, if I remember right, Silver Surfer, those were both proven to be false statements. So, I mean, that's the hard part is, anybody can come up with an accusation, whether or not it's actual. It does seem like they ruled those out as being false accusations. Creative idea, Stadium Drive, Kalamazoo, stop at my store. Looker Max, let's go. Hey, let me know, man. Maybe we'll stop on by. Maybe we can do a show from your place, but we will be Stadium Drive, 100%. Silver Sir, I like the Duart's domination. There you go. Let's see, Silver Sir, that was funny, Pierce. The dudettes, there you go. Kurt Steele, chat is on fire today. Hey, must be the jacket, right? Keitho, run that like button up. Yes, if you guys can, hit the like and subscribe button. Hit all the buttons. Amy, where is Tombstone stream? I'm not 100% sure, Amy. I'm not sure. But I went to Tombstone, and when I drove a truck, awesome town. Love both Booth Hill. I do want to stop by there. Maybe I can talk Jen into something over the summer. Moonscar, when I went to see Tombstone at the theater, and 25 minutes into the movie, someone called it a bomb threat. It called in a bomb threat. But love Tombstone and Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody play Doc Holliday better than Val Kilmer. And to be honest, probably for anybody of our generation or roughly thereabouts, that's the only Doc Holliday out there. Kurt Steele, good morning, boss. Moonscar, Amy's right. Ever been to Deadwood? Question mark. Talk about taking a step back in time. Everyone should go there. I'll check it out. Pastor Ben, Coach Dan, keep up the good work. Lions Talk Live is where I get my accurate Lions news. Trade up for edge. I'll take that. And thank you very much for that, Pastor Ben. Trim Reaper, what up, though, Mr. Steel, Silver Surfer? I love the way Coach slowly builds up his live. Now we've got the game show. I feel like a kindergartner kid, and I don't mind. Keep it going, Coach. Hey, doing what I can to try to provide some entertainment for you guys, because let's be fair, the next couple months after the draft, it's going to be slower. So, hey, got to kind of Scooby-Doo it and come up with ideas for you guys. Thomas, what we really want, I believe, in the draft are 2 to 3 players who you can use right now, exclamation point. So moving up, if our guys are there, yes. Yeah, I'll go with that, Thomas. I think you're pretty spot on. Trim, I think I seen it streaming on Hulu or Netflix. Yeah, it could be either one. I'm not 100% sure. Keith, Coach Dan, Lions Talk Live does a lot with helping me fight my cancer. Thank you. And Dan and everyone. Hey, well, thank you for being a part of here, Keith, and everybody in the Duke crew. If you can, send a hug, send some loves, prayer, thoughts, or whatever. Keith's way, man. Trim or Disney. Could be that. Could be on Disney. Thomas, 13-4. Kurt Steele, good morning, Michigan Panther Pride. I watched the latest show yesterday. Good content, my guy. Exclamation point. Mirth and Mayhem, 14-3. Eternal Optimist. Hey, me too, man. I like the way you're thinking. I love the thumbnail, too. Trim, have a great day, Coach and Duke crew. Woo! Back at you. Pierce, Kurt Steele. What up, Joe? I got to go back and rewatch the injury update episode. Was it 3 hours long with the laundry list we have? That's a good question. There, Coach, I would think that was my jacket in 1990. Did you happen to find any cocaine in the pocket? I did not check the pockets, but hey, what a great value that jacket was. Let's see. Creative idea, 12-5. Bo Booth, Captain Jack shined when AA went down. That is true. Michigan Panther Pride, thanks, Kurt. David, Pat Swilling was a bust here and then went to Oakland and got 13 sacks. So frustrating. Yeah, I'd have to go back and rewatch it with fresh eyes to see if maybe they just didn't use them the right way or something. But think about some of the players they could have got with that number 6 or 7 pick, whatever it was, instead of Pat Swilling. It's too bad. Moonscar Blade, Derek Lewis, no, but there was some really delicious powdered sugar pockets in them. There you go. Kurt Steele, Pierce Sargent. Now we cover the big 3 big names on the defense. Thomas, to afford the players we really need, we cannot afford everyone. This is true. We will lose some great players because of cash. Probably true. Bo, happy trails, Duke crew. Waiting for the next game show. See ya. Yeah, I won't do it often, but I'll do it from time to time. Just change the pace. Probably come up with some other ideas for the show too. Kurt Steele, Moonscar Blade. We have a good discussion about Laporta article this morning. All right, Moonscar. I'm there, Kurt man. Brent DeWitt, Vikings only have 4 picks also. Ooh, maybe that puts them in the mix. And the Vikings are getting a little bit older. Kurt Steele, Moonscar Blade, talk to you in a few. Thomas, Keith, look up and study vermin. I'm not even I'll kill that word. Not that that's new for the show, right? Carrie, prayers, Keith, stay strong. There you go. Amy, sending hugs in to Keith. Exclamation point. Fight. Keep the fight going. Ludell, let's see. I'll take 9-8 and Super Bowl. I'll take a Super Bowl. I don't care what the record is. So I like the way you're thinking. Brent, let's see. Praying for Keith. Gary, have a great day, Coach Dan and crew. Back at you. All right, guys. Ed, happy trails, Duke crew. All right, guys. If there's breaking news today, I'll get over to you as soon as possible. Maybe I'll even wear the jacket while doing it. Otherwise, if you would be so kind, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Do something kind for someone you don't know. Be a good human being. And we'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Excuse me, sir. Would you... Donations to Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology?
Or nuclear power?